The story begins with our protagonist feeling unattractive and uncool compared to her peers. She mentions being bullied for her appearance but continues walking through the school hallway, where she trips. A boy helps her up and notices she likes the band Heavy Metal City. Later, she asks the boy to join her at one of their concerts, but he rejects the offer. Soon after, she's bullied by a girl named Semi and her friend, who are upset that she asked Semi's boyfriend out. They humiliate her by drawing on her face with lip gloss and posting her picture online. Eventually, she accidentally harms Semi and gets sent to the counselor's office. The counselor informs her she'll no longer attend the same school as her bully and recommends an art school, but she initially refuses. At home, she contemplates the counselor's suggestion and feels like giving up. Then she receives a mysterious text with a makeup tutorial video from a woman named Selena, who encourages viewers to be beautiful. Inspired by the tutorial, she applies makeup determined to turn her life around. At her new school, two girls, Sharon and Swa, introduce themselves. She tells the audience that her new appearance helped her gain popularity over winter break. However, the mention of dumplings triggers a memory of her past bullying, but she's snapped out of it by An and Kang. At a local restaurant, two boys discuss her, telling a boy named Si-jun that she's from his school, though he doesn't recognize her or care. Meanwhile, at home she washes off her makeup and bumps into her brother, who makes rude comments about her looks and takes a photo of her. Frustrated, she rants about how all her earnings are being spent on food for her brother. Later, she visits a bookstore and grabs a horror comic, only to encounter a boy named Suho Lee. She finds him handsome and they argue over who gets the book first. She challenges him to prove he's a real fan, and they engage in a trivia battle, which she loses. The next day at school, she sees Suho again and hides, while Sharon and Swa share details about him, noting that despite his handsome looks, he has a bad personality. In class, she wonders if Suho recognized her, and her friends tell her she's been nominated for the Subum High Goddess competition. They explain the prestige it holds, with Sujin having won for years. Her friends think she has a chance to dethrone Sujin, but she's more interested in the performance contest. Later, she reads a comic about a character similar to her, feeling a connection. At the bookstore again, she bumps into Suho, but avoids a confrontation. Suho later finds something she dropped and picks it up. She joins Swa, Jimin, and Suho at a restaurant, surprised to see Suho there. Swa asks if they'd met before, and though she panics, she denies it. Suho dismisses Swa's inquiry, not wanting to waste time. Later, she worries about revealing the truth. At the bus stop, Suho approaches her wearing her missing earbud and recognizes the Heavy Metal City song she's playing. He asks if she's the same girl from the bookstore, leaving her anxious about being discovered. But she denies it, claiming the earbud he's showing isn't hers. However, Suho points out that she's listening to the same Heavy Metal City song, and her flustered responses only confirm his suspicion. Defeated, Jujeon heads home worried about what will happen if her true appearance is revealed. Determined to keep her secret safe, she visits the bookstore and begs Suho to keep her bare-faced identity hidden. She promises to do anything in exchange, and Suho agrees. Later, she delivers his comic books as part of their deal. The next day, Jujeon becomes Suho's errand girl, constantly delivering things to him while he teases her about her tasks. As she walks through the school hallway, she overhears gossip about her and Suho's growing connection. She then meets with Sharon and Swa, who notice her closeness to Suho. Jujeon devises a plan, thinking that if she tells the girls Suho is bothering her, they'll help convince him to stop. However, before she can share her complaints, Sharon and Swa mention that many wouldn't mind being bullied by Suho. They also discuss how Suho used to be a different person before his trip to Korea changed him. Before they can leave, Jujeon gets a text from Suho, who asks her to come to the acting department. There he hands her his phone and asks her to film him for an acting assignment. While watching him perform, she notices that he seems kinder when he's acting. Later, Suho and Jujeon go to the theater because she ruined his mood. She suggests they watch a horror movie together. As they enter, Sujin spots Suho from afar. Jujeon starts reflecting on her recent encounters with Suho and realizes she's growing fond of him. Soon after, her brother Jeon demands she buy him a hamburger, so she goes to Burger Cat. At the restaurant, Semi and her friend show up and humiliate her in front of everyone. She leaves upset by their remarks. Feeling hurt, she compares how both Semi's boyfriend and Suho treated her. Suho calls her, but she lashes out, accusing him of treating her like her bullies. After ending the call, she realizes she left her wallet at Burger Cat. Si-jun and his friends find her wallet. When she arrives to retrieve it, Si-jun hands it over. The next day, Swa and Sharon inform Jujeon that she received the most likes in the goddess competition. Then they spot Suho and Si-jun about to fight. Both boys notice Jujeong, and she grows anxious knowing they've both seen her without makeup. Suho notices Juhyun in the crowd. He pulls Jujeong aside and asks her if she knows Seojun. Juhyun says she doesn't know Seojun and Suho gives Jujeong her earbuds. Seojun returns to class. One of Seojun's friends informs him that Juhyun is a Sebum goddess candidate. Then we cut away to Jujeong in class. Juhyun's relieved Seojun hasn't discovered her true identity yet. Then Jujeong's teacher asks her to come to the front of the class and select a sheet of paper from a box. This is a part of her current portrait assignment. Juhyun picks up a slip of paper and learns her portrait assignment will be on Seojun. She must draw Seojun. If he refuses, she'll fail her assignment. Eventually, Juhyun meets with Seojun. Juhyun informs Seojun about her portrait assignment. Seojun says he'll think about it if Suho asks him to consider helping Juhyun out with it. Seojun departs and Jujeong is annoyed by Seojun's response. Then we see Suho entering a classroom. Seojun wanders towards Suho, asking him if he wants to practice acting with her. Suho refuses and leaves the classroom. Meanwhile, Jujeong, Sharon, and Swa meet Gawon. Gawon is a student from the music department. Swa, Sharon, and Jujeong wonder why Gawon looks horrible. Gawon says she has an upcoming performance. She knows she's a talented singer, but her looks are atrocious. Jujeong understands and offers to help Gawon with her makeup. Then Jujeong and the others stroll around a basketball court. Seojun's ball clashes with one of Jujeong's beverages, causing it to ruin her facial appearance. Swa yells at Seojun for not monitoring the court. Then Suho arrives, cleans things up, and tells Jujeong to leave and wash up. Seojun confronts Suho about his actions and Suho retaliates, telling Seojun that he should apologize to Jujeong. After washing up, Jujeong returns home. Jujeong researches Suho's actions to see what it all means. Several anonymous folks tell Jujeong it's possible Suho likes Jujeong. Jujeong visits Han River to return Suho's cardigan. There, Jujeong explains why she was at Han River during the previous chapter's early flashback segment. Jujeong tells Suho she was bullied a lot in the past for her appearance. At the same time, Jujeong says she didn't mind the bullying and knows difficult times will come and go. Suho tells Jujeong he looks the same regardless of whether she has makeup on. He also understands why Jujeong wants to keep things a secret. He compares her charade to his on and off acting phase. Jujeong visits Gawon and does her makeup. Then Gawon performs on stage, and Jujeong observes her from the crowd with tears in her eyes. Jujeong greets Gawon after the performance and learns Gawon's related to Seojun. Jujeong leaves and returns home to ponder everything. Then Seojun messages Jujeong and tells her he followed her on social media. Jujeong follows Seojun back and Gawon invites her to her home for dinner. Jujeong arrives at Gawon's place. Seojun exits the bathroom shirtless. Seojun apologizes. He leaves to grab normal clothes and returns to the dinner table with Gawon and Jujeong. After dinner, Seojun walks with Jujeong somewhere. Seojun tells Jujeong he'll help her with her portrait assignment. Jujeong thanks Seojun. Some time passes. Jujeong meets Seojun at Cafe Miu. The two discuss the upcoming Seven Goddess competition. Seojun wants to get closer to Jujeong, but knows the competition will make it difficult for them to get along. Regardless, Seojun says she'd like her and Jujeong to get closer to each other. Then Jujeong heads to school and learns about an upcoming mission for the Seven Goddess competition. Many people chat about the idea of Jujeong and Seojun competing against each other, and Jujeong looks nervous. Jujeong overhears some girls discussing the mission they received on their phones for the Seven Goddess competition. She feels conflicted and decides to inform the art department that she wants to quit. Upon arriving at the art department classroom, she sees Swa hyping everyone up for the competition. Swa insists that supporting Jujeong will help change people's perception of the art department. Jujeong heads to the restroom, still wanting to tell Swa and Sharon she plans to drop out. She reflects on the situation, believing that Seojun will win because of her strong presence, giving her an excuse to quit without disappointing anyone. Meanwhile, Suho and Seojun have a conversation. Seojun asks him to film her dance video for the competition, but he tells her to find someone else. Seojun heads to the restroom, where she runs into Jujeong. She admits that she doesn't want to let the art department down. Seojun mentions her close relationship with Suho and offers to ask him to help Jujeong with her dance video. She leaves, wishing Jujeong good luck. Back home, Jujeong watches the dance videos of the other contestants. Sharon and Swa send her a provocative dance suggestion for the competition. She practices the dance, but Jujeong enters her room, leaving her embarrassed after asking for his opinion. Later, at school, Suho asks Jujeong to meet him at Han River after class to help him practice his acting. She hesitates, wanting to practice her dance, but he insists. Shortly after, Sojun shows up, reminding her that she needs to draw him for her previous assignment. He demands she finish after school since he's busy with work. Frustrated by the boy's requests, she texts Suho, saying she can't meet him at the river. Ju-hyun heads to the music department to draw Sejun. During their time together, they discuss Suho, and she expresses her belief that Sujin would be a better match for him than herself. Sejun laughs when she mentions her struggles with the dance competition. After completing his portrait, Sejun drives her home, warning her not to get close to Suho and Sujin. At school the next day, Ju-hyun bumps into Suho, who reminds her that he's heading to Han River. Later, the two meet there. She offers to help him practice acting, but he reveals he's already submitted his video and didn't ask her to come. Suho then inquires about the dance mission, and she shows him the provocative dance Swa suggested, claiming she'll perfect it with more practice. Later, Sujin calls Ju-hyun, asking if she would go on a blind date with a guy named Hyunwoo-jeon. The next day, Ju-hyun informs Swa and Sharon about the date, and they encourage her to go. Ju-hyun meets Hyunwoo at their arranged location, and the two take a walk together. Hyunwoo praises her and asks her to be his girlfriend, to which she agrees. Reflecting on recent events, Ju-hyun feels conflicted. Meanwhile, Suho meets Swa at a cafe, where she informs him about Ju-hyun's new relationship. Ju-hyun eventually joins them, and Suho hesitates to speak with her. Later, she meets Hyunwoo again, and he suggests they go to a hotel. At the hotel, Sojun spots them. Inside the room, Hyunwoo asks Ju-hyun to put on a swimsuit before leaving. Confused, she wonders what's happening. Outside, Hyunwoo makes a call, telling someone that everything is going according to plan. Sejun intervenes, punching Hyunwoo and revealing that he works part-time at the hotel. He then threatens to call the police. Suho is looking through someone's profile on his phone. He calls a friend and asks if they know who Hyunwoo is. His friend warns him that Hyunwoo is bad news and advises him to stay away. Swa then arrives and informs him that Ju-hyun is on a hotel date with her boyfriend. We cut to Sejun performing some hotel cleanup duties, which take place before he confronts Hyunwoo in the closing events of episode 4. Sejun overhears Hyunwoo's conversation and follows him to the elevator. Shortly after, Suho calls Sejun. Suho arrives and they discuss the situation. Meanwhile, Ju-hyun reflects on her situation with Hyunwoo. She's concerned about what will happen if Hyunwoo discovers her ugly side. Before she puts on her waterproof makeup, Suho and Sejun knock on her door. They enter the room planning to reveal the truth about Hyunwoo to her. As they search the room, Suho finds a camera hidden by Hyunwoo in one of the lamps. Ju-hyun is confused, wondering what's going on. Then the scene from last week's chapter replays, with Sejun knocking Hyunwoo out and calling the police. Hyunwoo tries to argue it's not entirely his fault, claiming Sujin put him up to it. Sejun and Suho chase Hyunwoo down. During the chase, Suho gets hit by a car. We then cut to Sejun at Gangnam Hospital, speaking with the hospital staff. Afterward, Sejun and Ju-hyun visit Suho in his hospital room. Sejun suggests Ju-hyun wait outside. Ju-hyun calls Sujin and asks if they can meet at a cafe. The two meet at the cafe, and Ju-hyun asks if Hyunwoo was right about Sujin orchestrating the romantic scheme. Sujin toys with her and Ju-hyun struggles to believe Sujin would do this. Ju-hyun accuses Sujin of being the reason Suho got hurt. Sujin argues otherwise and leaves. Meanwhile, Sojun stays by Suho's side at the hospital. We then flash back to a time when Suho protected their classmate Sejun from bullies. Sejun arrives and helps Suho. Sejun tries to persuade Sejun to become a trainee with him, but Sejun brushes him off despite receiving compliments on his talents. Later, Suho suggests the three meet somewhere to talk, but they discover that Sejun has been beaten up by bullies again. Sejun, however, remains unfazed, saying that tough times come and go. After hearing more from Sejun, Sejun says he'll consider trying the trainee audition. Sometime later, the trio is seen lying on the ground, with Sejun certain they'll all be in the same group. However, it's revealed that Sejun will debut first. Sejun laughs and tells the boys they should have tried harder. We then cut to Suho resting at the library. When he wakes up, he learns that Sejun has committed suicide and left a note for his friends and family. Later, Sojun confronts Suho about Sejun's suicide, blaming him for everything. Returning to the present, Ju-hyun hopes that Suho will recover. Then she receives a phone call from Swa, who tells her that someone has spread a bad rumor about her on the school bulletin board. Ju-hyun reads the comments being shared and reflects on all the kindness she's shown others. She runs to a nearby railing, thinking over everything she's been through. She throws Hyunwoo's camera into the river and vows not to run away. Jukyong applies makeup and goes to school to confront Sujin. Sujin refuses to discuss the situation, so Jukyong grabs Sujin's mirror, tells her she won't back down, and throws the mirror before leaving. Jukyong tells Seojun that Suho is woken up in the hospital. She wants to visit Suho, but Sujin suggests they don't need to. We then cut to Suho at the hospital. Jukyong arrives, and he tells her not to feel guilty about his injury. Sujin spots them together and quietly leaves. Jukyong feeds Suho since his arm is broken. She thanks him for helping her, and he questions if she should be there right now. He wonders why she isn't practicing for the dance mission. Jukyong raises her voice, admitting that she doesn't like being bullied. Despite everything, she vows to win the goddess competition. Suho tells her to pick up her phone if an unknown number calls. Jukyong, Sharon, and Swa go somewhere to help her practice her dance moves. Jukyong struggles with the choreography. A random boy calls her. The man explains that Suho mentioned her poor dancing skills and offers to help her. Jukyong visits his studio, where he explains the process. She feels nervous about it all. Meanwhile, Sojun looks at a picture of Jukyong, unsure why she cares so much for Suho. Some time passes and she bumps into Sejun, showing an offer improved dance skills. Sejun brings up Suho, and Jukyong tells him to visit if he's so worried. Before leaving, she gives Sejun a portrait she painted of him as a gift. Sejun doesn't find it very appealing, so Jukyong leaves and calls Suho. He tells her that he's being discharged from the hospital, assures her he'll be fine, and hopes things are going well with her dance teacher. Suho refuses to elaborate on his own dancing history and asks her not to come over. Upon leaving the hospital, Suho encounters Sejun. They argue about Jukyong, with Sejun accusing Suho of discarding innocent people. During the argument, both receive a pre-sent message from Cyan's blog. Sejun starts to walk away, but Suho stops him to discuss Cyan. He promises he didn't miss Cyan's call on purpose, then brings up his father's scandal involving a 12-year age gap. A flashback shows Suho's father telling him and his sister that the rumors were false. Suho recalls seeing his father with the woman in question and feeling sick to his stomach. He drops his phone and runs off. Cyan tries calling, but Suho can't answer because he's not near his phone. He regrets not picking up. Suho explains he fled to Japan to escape his father but returned to Korea when his father became active in Japan. Sejun, uninterested in the explanation, leaves. Jukyong watches from afar. Later, she visits the Han River to talk to Suho about his drama with Sejun. Suho shares that Sejun calls him a sociopath for not crying after Cyan's death. He admits he didn't cry because he feels unworthy of mourning Cyan. Jukyong offers advice, and Suho begins to cry. She then receives a text about the dance mission, informing her she must upload her video within 30 minutes or be disqualified. The two go for a stroll in the city, and Jukyong asks Suho to help film her dance video. They record it, and Jukyong receives praise from viewers. Others are either recording her or writing comments in real time, while Suho blushes as he looks at his phone. A reel plays, showcasing all the girls who competed in the Sebum Art School Goddess Election's first mission, which required them to submit dancing videos. Sujin initially leads, but Jukyong surpasses her with a livestream submission. At school, Charon and Sua discuss Jukyong's achievements. One of them warns Jukyong not to get complacent about her victory, reminding her that 2 missions remain. Seojun calls Jukyong, wanting to chat later. We then see Jukyong assisting Seojun with festival preparations. Seojun expresses his desire to continue working to provide for Goun and become wealthy. Jukyong admits her opinion of Seojun has evolved. Just then, Suho arrives, creating a tense atmosphere. A boy appears moments later, telling Jukyong he'll get a cute plushie after collecting all the stamps. Seojun and Suho notice Jukyong's reaction to this news. Both boys begin to compete to see who can get Jukyong the plushie first. During their rivalry, Seojun and Suho confront each other. Seojun shows Suho a portrait of him that Jukyong drew, but Suho doesn't find it special. Seojun confesses he might have feelings for Jukyong. The two continue their plushie duel. Eventually, Jukyong closes her shop and takes a stroll around the festival. A tarot card lands in front of Jukyong, and she helps the tarot card reader. The woman then offers to tell Jukyong her love fortune. Meanwhile, Seojun and Suho arrive at the plushie stall, where the owner informs them she gave the last plushie to a child. Suho suggests they both look for Jukyong. Simultaneously, the tarot card reader tells Jukyong she's in a love triangle and struggles to differentiate between love and friendship. At the same time, someone from Seojun's management team calls him, asking him to fill in for a singing role at the festival. Seojun asks if they can get him a plushie in return. Seojun then heads to the stage to sing. Meanwhile, Jukyong reflects on her experiences with Suho. She hears Seojun singing and leaves the tarot card reader's shop. Ju-hyun reunites with Suho, and they both listen to Seojun's performance with the crowd. Seojun presents Ju-hyun with a plushie, and she accepts the gift despite not initially wanting one. Before the trio departs, a man from a fashion magazine arrives and asks to take a photo of them. Ju-hyun suggests they take the photo to commemorate their friendship. Afterward, Ju-hyun returns home, where Ju-hyun teases her and asks her to return a comic to the store. Ju-hyun leaves for the store. On her way, she sees Seojun hugging Suho. Ju-hyun then receives a phone alert, learning that her next mission will begin soon. Seojun is looking through photos of Ju-hyun and Suho. Her mother enters, expressing displeasure with Seojun's spending habits. Seojun retorts that they have more money if her mother stopped wasting it on alcohol, then kicks her mother out of the room. She makes a sarcastic remark about her father not returning home. Seojun leaves her house and finds a place to rest. Suho notices Seojun's wound, buys medical supplies from a nearby store, and returns to treat her. Suho knows about Seojun's mother's poor habits. Suho tries to leave, but Seojun hugs him, pleading with him not to go because he's the only one she can count on. Just then, Ju-hyun spots Suho and Seojun together. Similar to the previous episode's ending, Ju-hyun looks at her phone and learns about the Sebum Goddess competition's next mission. Ju-hyun heads home, wondering if Suho has feelings for Seojun. She recalls a former bully's comment about people being nice to her out of pity. Ju-hyun tells Ju-hyun that someone sent her a package. Ju-hyun opens it to find a school uniform, which she must style in any way she likes for the competition. The next day, Ju-hyun bumps into Suho. Suho wants to go to a movie, but Ju-hyun declines, explaining she needs to prepare for the next mission. Suho persists, pressuring her to go, and chases her around the school. Meanwhile, Seojun looks through photos of himself and Ju-hyun. Ju-hyun arrives at Seojun's place, explaining why she's there. She roams through his home, commenting on his belongings, which doesn't amuse Seojun. As the two tease each other, Go-eun arrives. Ju-hyun helps Go-eun with her makeup, after which Go-eun teases Seojun about her appearance, making him uncomfortable. Ju-hyun asks Seojun for advice on styling her uniform for the mission. He tells her that what she wore at the festival was nice. The next day, Ju-hyun heads to school and discusses the mission with Charon and Suha. She shows the girls her outfit's design, puts it on, and asks for their opinions. Charon and Suha love the outfit. Ju-hyun, Suha, and Charon try to leave school when Suho stumbles upon them. Charon and Suha depart, and Suho asks Ju-hyun why she's avoiding him. Ju-hyun promises she isn't. Suho presses her about it, and Ju-hyun drops her bag containing her outfit's design concept. She leaves, and Suho chases after her. Seojun finds the bag and sees Ju-hyun's outfit design concept documents inside. Ju-hyun hides at the library. Suho finds Ju-hyun resting at a table, sits next to her, and waits for her to wake up. Ju-hyun wakes up, and Suho encourages her to share what's bothering her. Ju-hyun tells Suho she saw him at the convenience store with Seojun. Suho assures Ju-hyun there's nothing romantic between him and Seojun. Ju-hyun then receives a countdown on her phone regarding the next mission and realizes she doesn't have her outfit. Meanwhile, Seojun takes selfies of herself. At the same time, Suho and Ju-hyun search for Ju-hyun's outfit, but can't find it. Ju-hyun asks Suho if the acting department's prop room is open, and he confirms it is. The two visit the prop room, and Ju-hyun puts on a new outfit. Suho takes a photo of Ju-hyun. Ju-hyun and Suho look at the feed, noticing that many people like Seojun's outfit, even though she stole that attire's concept from Ju-hyun. Suha and Charon discuss Seojun's actions at Cafe Mayu, while one of Ju-hyun's former bullies realizes Ju-hyun has entered a competition. Ju-hyun runs after Suha, and the two, along with Charon, arrive at a classroom to confront Seojun. Two of Seojun's friends challenge Suha, Charon, and Ju-hyun about the previous Sebum Goddess competition mission. Suha declares that Seojun stole Ju-hyun's outfit for that mission. Seojun arrives and denies copying Ju-hyun's outfit. Before Suha can cause more of a scene, Ju-hyun pulls her aside. Later, Suha continues to rant, insisting that Seojun stole Ju-hyun's outfit. Suha tells Charon and Ju-hyun to visit her place later to discuss a combat plan, suggesting they can also turn the outing into a pajama party. Ju-hyun initially refuses, not wanting Suha and Charon to see her without makeup. Later, Ju-hyun reflects on her decision. After bumping into Seojun, she calls Suho, asking him to meet her at the park. Ju-hyun seeks Suho's advice, wanting to tell Suha and Charon the truth about her appearance but unsure how to approach the situation. Suho assures Ju-hyun that Suha and Charon will still like her, even without makeup, citing his own friendship with her as proof. Ju-hyun texts Suha, informing her that she's changed her mind and will attend the pajama party. She arrives, and Suha drops a few pajamas on the ground. Charon and Suha press Ju-hyun for details about her relationship with Suho. Suha and Charon persuade Joohyung to call both Suho and Seojin, wanting to confirm if the boys harbor deeper feelings for Joohyung. Suha then grabs Joohyung's phone and texts Suho, demanding he come to her home, threatening that otherwise Joohyung will no longer be friends with him. Seojin and Suho arrive. Seojin had suspected something was amiss and tried to leave. Suha convinces Seojin to stay. Seojin and Suho put on some animal pajamas. Suha takes several photos of them, Joohyung, Charon, and herself. Afterward, Suha insists they play the truth game. She spins the bottle, and it lands on Suho, who must reveal his ideal type. He states he likes people who are authentic and honest. Seojin is next, revealing he likes cute people. He argues with Suha and asks her about her ideal type. Suha says she likes handsome people. Then, Suha switches the question. The bottle lands on Seojin, and Suha asks him if he has a crush on someone. Seojin confirms he does but doesn't specify who. Suha changes the question again, this time requiring the person to reveal a secret they're hiding from everyone. The bottle lands on Joohyung. Suha reads the room and finds a way to depart Suha's place with Seojin. Suha and Charon speculate that Joohyung is in a love triangle. Joohyung confronts the girls about her secret and asks them to wait. Joohyung returns to Suha's living room and reveals her ugly side to the girls. She apologizes for not informing them about her hidden side. Suha and Charon cry, telling Joohyung they like her for herself, not because she looks pretty. The girls share a heartfelt hug. Meanwhile, Seojin checks her phone. Seojin notices many people are gossiping about the previous mission. Some argue it's possible Seojin stole Joohyung's original attire. Moreover, Seojin realizes that Joohyung has more votes in the competition. Seojin wonders what makes Joohyung so special. Then someone sends Seojin a video clip of Joohyung getting bullied. Seojin and Suho walk together, both preoccupied with thoughts of Joohyung. Suho confronts Seojin about his feelings for Joohyung, admitting he has feelings for her. Seojin realizes Suho hasn't confessed to Joohyung yet and declares his intention to confess first. Suho states he'll confess to Joohyung, to which Seojin gives him the finger and leaves. Meanwhile, Joohyung reflects on her experiences with Suho, particularly moments where he showed his adorable side. Joohyung considers what might happen if she confesses to Suho, fearing he will reject her feelings and date someone else. Suddenly, Suho texts Joohyung, asking her to go to the movies with him. As Joohyung travels to the theater, she spots Suho nearby and admires his outfit. Suho and Joohyung go for a walk when a truck driver splashes water from a puddle onto them, ruining their clothes. Suho suggests they head to his place to dry off. Joohyung waits for Suho to finish showering. Suho comes to the living room, and he and Joohyung look outside. Suho worries the storm won't end soon and that they won't be able to visit the movie theater. He suggests they watch a movie at his home. Joohyung insists they watch one of Suho's horror movies. Suho agrees, though he's mildly afraid. During a jump scare in the film, Suho edges closer to Joohyung. The two look into each other's eyes before pulling away. Later, Joohyung thanks Suho for letting her stay at his place. Before Joohyung leaves, she attempts to confess to Suho, but Suho suggests they chat another time. Joohyung returns home feeling defeated. Seojin calls Joohyung, telling her he auditioned for something and that she encouraged him to pursue it. He suggests they eat out to celebrate and promises to pay for Joohyung's meal. Joohyung accepts and heads to the eater. There, Seojin has a fit after eating spicy food. Joohyung tells Seojin she's not in a good mood because Suho rejected her. Seojin thinks about Suho's earlier remarks to him and wonders if he should confess his feelings to Joohyung. Seojin advises Joohyung to interpret Suho's actions differently. Joohyung understands and tells Seojin she loves Suho. Seojin is left partially defeated. At home, Suho reflects on his encounter with Joohyung. Suho realizes Joohyung wanted to confess to him and says he wants to confess first. Before Suho leaves his home, Seojin knocks on his front door. Seojin enters Suho's home, and Suho suggests she leave. Seojin shows Suho footage of Joohyung getting bullied and says cruel things about Joohyung. She learns Suho already knew about Joohyung's alternate appearance. Seojin tries confronting Suho about this, but Suho suggests Seojin leave Joohyung alone. Seojin threatens to share Joohyung's footage with the world, but says she won't do it if Suho does something for her. Meanwhile, Seojin and Joohyung are walking together. One of Joohyung's friends calls her, informing Joohyung that Suho and Seojin are dating. Joohyung's friend tells her that Seojin posted a photo on Instagram to confirm their relationship. Joohyung cries, and Seojin stops her. Seojin then tells Joohyung he likes her, which surprises her. Ju-hyung walks to school, while several students gossip about Suho and Sujin's new relationship. Ju-hyung spots Suho nearby, but before she can talk to him, Sujin arrives and walks off with him. Then several students pull Ju-hyung aside. These students confront Ju-hyung about Sujin's alleged outfit theft and Charon's recent outburst. They worry Ju-hyung will ruin their school's image with more drama and believe Ju-hyung only cares about her own image. Before the situation turns violent, Ju-hyung sees her reflection in a mirror and leaves with tears in her eyes. Meanwhile, Sujin and Suho walk in the hallway. Suho tells Sujin he will continue pretending to be her boyfriend until the competition ends. Sujin grabs Suho's phone, and they learn details about the goddess competition's final mission. Contestants must win over viewers' hearts by holding a live stream. Meanwhile, Sujin is in a classroom. Charon, Suwa, and Go-woon confront him, asking for updates on Suho and Ju-hyung's current status. A flashback reveals that Ju-hyung rejected Sujin after he confessed to her. Ju-hyung texts Charon and Suwa, telling them she wants to quit the competition. Then we see Ju-hyung's computer screen. A reporter exposes Ju-hyung's activities and secrets to the world. Ju-hyung scrolls through the mean comments about her online. Suwa and Charon arrive at Ju-hyung's home. Ju-hyung tells them she wants to quit. Her friends try to convince her not to, but Ju-hyung refuses to listen. She says she will lay low for a while and insists Charon and Suwa pretend they are not affiliated with her. Suwa refuses, explaining why abandoning Ju-hyung would be bad for them. Ju-hyung reflects on Suwa's words and Suho's past remarks. She opens her door. Then we cut back to the reporter, who updates everyone on Sujin and Ju-hyung's competition results and claims the next mission will declare the next goddess. The reporter's ally expresses excitement. They then show where Sujin and Ju-hyung will hold their live streams. The reporter announces the live Monopoly Chance event, allowing Ju-hyung and Sujin to disrupt the other's stream and take over their broadcast for 5 minutes. We then cut to Sujin's live stream, where she briefly chats with her viewers. Next, we see Ju-hyung's broadcast, but Ju-hyung is nowhere to be seen. Sujin shares her opinion on Ju-hyung's situation. Eventually, Ju-hyung arrives. A brief flashback shows Charon and Ju-hyung discussing a plan. Returning to the present, Ju-hyung declares she is not backing down. She shows off a belt she wore before the second mission, arguing it is the same belt Sujin wore for that mission. She shares details about her outfit, explaining how she lost it and made it herself, claiming Sujin stole her attire for the previous mission. Several viewers compare the belts, and many start taking Ju-hyung's side. Ju-hyung tells the audience that Sujin fabricated and spread fake rumors about her. Many viewers start sending Sujin hurtful comments. Sujin disrupts Ju-hyung's broadcast, telling Ju-hyung she shouldn't use her innocence to fool the audience. She tells the viewers that Ju-hyung is saying these things because she is paranoid and unhappy about Suho dating Sujin. Sujin shows the viewers a photo of Ju-hyung with Hanwoo, claiming Ju-hyung likes attending clubs to seduce men. Sujin tells Ju-hyung to know her place. Many viewers start turning on Ju-hyung, and Ju-hyung leaves the area. Ju-hyung heads to the bathroom and asks Charon to meet her there. Charon arrives with Ju-hyung's bully, and they call her a dumpling face. In a flashback, Sujin confronts Semi and her friends. Sujin shows Semi the picture Semi sent her, which depicts Ju-hyung's ugly side. The two then meet at Cafe Miu to discuss the situation. Semi wants Sujin to help her, and the others expose Ju-hyung's true face to the world. Sujin is unsure, but Semi urges her to proceed, revealing that Ju-hyung's friend Charon will help them. Sujin agrees and asks Semi to elaborate on the plan. We return to the present timeline. Ju-hyung is tied up and asks Charon what's happening. Semi tells Ju-hyung that Charon is betraying her. Charon films Semi wiping off Ju-hyung's makeup. Semi orders Ju-hyung to stay in the room until they show the world the video they recorded. Charon and Semi leave. At the same time, Suwa overhears viewers' conversations about Ju-hyung. Suwa heads to Ju-hyung's live broadcast station. There, Suwa tells the live stream's viewers that Ju-hyung will return and that Sujin spread lies about Ju-hyung, but the viewers do not believe her. Sujin laughs during her stream and checks her phone. Suho enters the room and starts removing Sujin's live stream equipment. Suho tells Sujin to tell everyone the truth and attempts to leave. Sujin threatens that if Suho leaves, she will expose Ju-hyung's face to the world. Suho says he does not care because he never planned to keep his promise to Sujin. Suho leaves. Sujin texts Semi, asking Semi to send Ju-hyung's exposed video. Semi replies that she cannot because they did not film it correctly and asks Sujin to visit the girls' restroom. Meanwhile, Ju-hyung is pondering in the girls' restroom. Sujin arrives and bullies Ju-hyung, listing reasons why she hates Ju-hyung and has no issue bullying her. Ju-hyung smiles and shows Sujin a necklace. Then, we enter a flashback. In it, Charon receives a text from Semi, who sent Charon a video of Jugyong's ugly side. Suwa is enraged, but Charon tells Suwa they should not provoke Semi. She also does not want the video to spread. Suwa wonders what they should do. Charon insists they let Sudo help them. Charon texts Semi, telling her she will help expose Jugyong. Charon tells Suwa she will act as a double agent. Then, we enter the same flashback where Semi and Sujin met at Cafe Mayu. Semi introduces Charon to Sujin. Charon secretly calls Suo, and Suo listens in on their discussion. Then, we enter another flashback. In it, Charon, Suwa, and Juhyang are in a car, heading toward the live stream broadcast site. Charon hands Juhyang a necklace. Charon video calls Suo, and Suo explains the necklace's significance and shares other details with Juhyang. Juhyang understands. We return to the present timeline. In it, Juhyang tells Suwa to disrupt Sujin's broadcast. We learn the necklace had a hidden camera inside it. On the broadcast, viewers learn about what happened between Juhyang and Sujin in the girls' restroom. Juhyang departs. Sujin tries to save her public image on her stream, but no one trusts her anymore. She throws her phone to the ground and yells in defeat. Meanwhile, Juhyang runs through the hallway and stops at a mirror. She reflects on everything that has happened to her since transferring schools. Juhyang notices Suho and rushes into his arms as she wins the Sebum Goddess competition. Sugo calls Juhyang, asking her to meet him at the Han River. Later, Juhyang takes a stroll and bumps into Seojin. She tells him about her plans to meet Suo and that she wants to give Seojin a response to his confession. Seojin tells Juhyang he understands she isn't interested in him. Juhyang asks if they can still be friends. Seojin flicks Juhyang on the head, agrees, and tells her to go meet Suo. Meanwhile, Suo prepares for his meetup with Juhyang. He reflects on his past experiences with his family, friends, and Juhyang, wondering if he deserves a happy life. Suddenly, Suo calls Juhyang, telling her that Sujin has gone missing. Juhyang wonders if she should do something, but Suo says they can leave the matter alone. A biker rides past Juhyang, causing her to drop and break her phone. Suo calls Juhyang, but she tries calling him back and he doesn't pick up. Seojin arrives at the Han River, where Juhyang is sitting on a bench. Seojin shows Juhyang a report about Suo's father, Juhun, who is in a coma. Seojin tells Juhyang this is why Suo can't make it and explains Suo is at the airport. He insists they both go to the airport to say goodbye to Suo. Suo reflects on his happiness as he walks somewhere with someone. Seojin and Juhyang arrive and greet Suo. Seojin wishes Suo the best on his flight and leaves. Suo hands Juhyang a necklace and confesses his feelings for her. Juhyang cries and tells Suo she likes him too. Suo departs, hoping to see Juhyang again soon. Juhyang continues to cry. Some time passes. Suwa and Charon discuss Suo with Juhyang. Juhyang tells them that Suo hasn't sent her any messages yet. A montage shows Juhyang taking photos and reflecting on her final high school years. Then, we see Juhyang, Charon, and Suwa at a bar. Juhyang is drunk. Suwa and Charon call Seojin to take Juhyang home. We learn that Seojin is allegedly Juhyang's boyfriend. Seojin and Juhyang sit on a staircase. They argue briefly. Then Juhyang wonders why Suwa refers to Seojin as her boyfriend. Seojin says he doesn't mind and reminds Juhyang that he confessed to her at one point. The anime ends with Seojin and Juhyang kissing each other. And that's it for this video. Let me know if you want more such animes, and as always leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video.